Thank you, Dave. Thank you, and it gives me pleasure to welcome everybody here to the 26th anniversary of the United We Walk Martin Luther King ceremony. Let's give everybody a round of applause for being here. I'm greatly pleased that you came here today to celebrate and honor the life and legacy of Dr. King. The theme of this year's celebration is Be the Change, and as indicated on our buttons, that reminds us that the time is now to do what is right. By the way, you're going to meet the button designer in a little bit. And I think some people know who she is already. The mission of United We Walk, and here's the mission statement from United We Walk. It is to celebrate annually the birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. by embracing the continuing influence and impact of Dr. King's dream of creating a beloved community that values diversity, promotes unity, and underscores the worth of every person. Today, in our society, more than ever, it is important for us to gather and celebrate together, especially in Greater West Bloomfield, as we have a history of rich diversity. But you may ask I've had this question asked, are we walking inside or out? We are going to be outside. Then the other question is, why are we walking? Well, let's talk about that. Why are we walking? So over the past 26 years, our community and nation have made great strides on many fronts, but we have a lot more ground to cover. We choose to walk together to demonstrate our community's unity of purpose. As Dr. King said, we cannot walk alone. As we walk, we must take the pledge that we shall always march ahead. We cannot turn back. Today and every day, let's remember to walk hand in hand as we strive to get closer to realizing Dr. King's dream of creating a more just and inclusive society. And to all the young people in the crowd, the special challenge to you is to lead by example. A lot of times, adults, we get in ruts and we think too much. Just lead by example, and we will follow your example. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce today's mistress of ceremonies, Ms. Jennifer Graham, a valued educator in our school district and at Roosevelt Elementary School. She's also one of the co-chairs of the United We Walk MLK 365 Committee. She will introduce committee members and share some of the ways we are responding to Dr. King's observation that the time is now to do what is right. Ms. Graham?
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our 26th annual United We Walk event. We have a lot in store for you today. Thank you for braving the weather and coming out. We're going to have a great time. What I'd like to do right now is take the opportunity to introduce to you our student co-chairs who are going to continue our program. They are Mr. Sage Golden and Miss Hannah Rushdie. Can you please welcome them?
We would like to welcome our distinguished guests in attendance today. Please raise your hand and my introduction applies to you, and please hold your applause until the end. We now would like to welcome West Bloomfield School District board members, West Bloomfield School District teachers and staff, elected officials, David Coulter, Oakland County Executive, Mari Moonigan, and Ryan Berman, our state representatives, Steve Kaplan, our township supervisor, United We Walk current and former committee members, West Bloomfield High School intern principal Kathy Chico, and West Bloomfield High School assistant principal Jamie Giltz. And finally, we would like to welcome West Bloomfield High School Jazz Band Director Noah Dyer. Please give them a warm welcome.
Some supporter acknowledgments are WBSD Board of Education, West Bloomfield Township Public Library, Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commission, Civic Center TV, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Iota Rho Lambda Chapter, Lamar Crowder, President, and then thank you to our sponsors who are listed on our website at unitedwewalk.org. Now I would like to introduce Jada Lee, WBHS Jr., who will share a poem about Dr. King with us.
We remember MLK, honored on this special day. He had a dream that we would stand united together in this land, that we would strive to find a way to live as friends in peace today. He wanted each of us to see the beauty of equality. He taught that right overcomes wrong, that hope can turn the weak strong, and showing love instead of hate would make our country truly great. His message, meant to set us free, was filled with hope for you and me. So on this day, let freedom ring as we remember Dr. King.
We would also like to thank Mr. Eric Pierce, one of the assistant principals here at the high school as well. The reason we've gathered here today is to focus on our theme this year, which is the time is now to do what is right. Dr. King once said, the time is always right to do what is right. With that message being heard loud and clear, in 2020, we have a responsibility to follow his directions. Unity and peace are desperately needed throughout the world, and it is up to us to be the change makers starting today, right now. We have an initiative here that we are focusing on this year where we are asking you, the community, to be involved with us as we celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. King. We are going to have the march, as Dr. Hill explained, but we've asked the community to be a part of the process by collecting canned goods and other items that will go towards the Grace Centers of Hope in Pontiac, which is a facility that provides for those who are less fortunate. The facility assists the men, women, and children who are homeless and seeking assistance for a fresh start. Today, we're going to Today, we are going to participate in some community service projects which allow us to help the community and help this particular agency. We will be making pillows, sorting canned goods that have been donated, and making cards for the residents of the facility. I would now like to introduce to you Mr. Kyle Coach from the Grace Centers of Hope. Let's give him a round of applause.
Well, thank you guys for having me out here today. This is such a special day, and unfortunately, I'm a little under the weather, so if I seem a little loopy, that's why. So I just want to clarify, winter is not always forgiving here in Michigan, as you guys all know. But I knew it was important to come out here to support this amazing opportunity that you guys are providing Grace Centers of Hope by collecting everything. And so it was important for me to come out here to tell you guys a story about a friend of mine. This friend of mine is one of the kids at Grace Centers of Hope. When she came in, her mom had been homeless, her and her mom, for almost 3 years. Now, being homeless in Michigan, as we know, when we look outside these doors and we see the snow coming down, we know it's hard. And for Adriana and her mom, they lived in a car for almost 2 years. Now, that's not just in the summertime. That's also through the winter. And I just want to kind of paint a picture of what them living in a car is like from Adriana's mouth herself. She was talking about when, you're on the expressway and your car breaks down and the cars rush by your car really fast and it shakes it. And it's really scary because, at any false move, it could just be all over like that. That was what every single day was like for her, sleeping in a car every night. The biggest thing that opened my eyes when she described this story of sleeping in a car was how they had to use their dirty clothes for blankets and pillows. They didn't have blankets, fresh blankets. They didn't have a cozy bed to sleep in. They had a car seat, and they had dirty clothes. And so when she came in, Adriana with her mom, she was always known as the girl that never smiled. She was the girl that just walked around with a somber look on her face. She was probably about 11 years old when she came in. And her mom, in that process, was getting help through Grace Centers of Hope. Now, she didn't come in as someone who was struggling with addiction. She came in as somebody that was struggling with homelessness. Unfortunately, our economy at the time was not doing so well, and she was not afforded the same opportunities that people may be afforded now. And so, of course, as she went through the program, Adriana's mother, she experienced a life-changing program. That program helped her to assimilate into the normal culture. It helped her to understand what was behind the chronic homelessness that she endured over and over. And of course, through that process, Adriana went through the children's program herself. And she was assimilated into being friends with kids for the first time in a long time. She was shown what real love looks like from people like yourselves. She didn't know that a world like this existed until she came into Grace Centers of Hope. And of course, as her mom got better, and as Adriana got better, life began to change. And now they live in a home together, and now their lives have been completely changed. Adriana is now 14 years old, and now, when I first met her, I met her as the girl that never stopped smiling. And that is what you guys do when you help Grace Centers of Hope out. Unfortunately, sometimes I know that times are tough and we can't collect as much, but you guys have consistently collected things for Grace Centers of Hope. So I just want to let you know we are so thankful and so proud to be partners with people like yourselves who have come along Grace Centers of Hope and really helped build this organization into what it is. So thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you so much for putting that smile back on Adriana's face. And I would hope that all of you can come out and visit and see all the great work that we're doing at Grace Centers of Hope. Thank you so much.
Before we announce the button contest winner, we'd like to apologize for missing 4 West Bloomfield Township Board members. We'd like to acknowledge Clerk Binder, Treasurer Ryan Garden, Trustee Swimmer, and Trustee Warshay.
And now our 2020 United We Walk budding contest winner is Deanna Chan.
Deanna is a 4th grade student at Roosevelt Elementary. Please join us on the stage.
Deanna is in 4th grade at Roosevelt Elementary. Thank you for your awesome contest entry. Great job.
Now, please turn your attention towards the screen as we have a special presentation for you by our very own West Bloomfield School District students.
What does Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. mean or represent to you? Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. represents my family. I have a black mother and a white father, which makes me and my siblings mixed. I have a very diverse family, and for family events such as Christmas, I love seeing the different races get along and come together.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. means a hero to me because he helped the world be non-segregated and helped the schools all around the world with other races not get made fun of. And I think he's a very kind and nice person, and I think people would really be a lot more happy if he was still here.
A nice person who changed the world, and he changed other people, and now we can be together.
See, he represents a leader and what a leader should be. And he kind of means to me he helped stop segregation, and with segregation, some of my friends wouldn't be here.
Do you think Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. would approve of the way we treat one another today? Why or why not?
Yes and no. He'd be proud of all the several changes of colored people walking hand in hand and coming together as one. But there's still sexist and racist and inequality remarks and stereotypical rumors going around that can still be resolved.
I think that he would be proud of the improvement the world has made. But I do think that there's still a lot of hate in the world, and that we need to work on improving how we treat one another, bringing the community together, all different races, all different religions, all different cultures. We need to continue to bring them together, because even though there has been a lot of improvement, I still think that there needs to be more change in the world to make it a better place and more accepting towards everyone.
What can we do now to make the world a better place?
We can come together more, celebrate each other's differences, and just respect each other for who they are and what they believe in and what they like, even if it's different than yours.
We can treat each other like one another, like a family member or such, so to prevent suicides and school shootings and bullying and stuff.
What we could do now is keep his movement on and being sharing kindness to everyone and not mattering if they're different than you.
I think that we can do now is probably reduce the amount of plastic that we use and try to be kind to one another, because you see how what's happening with the World War III trending thing and how Australia's kind of turning out right now.
We can treat everyone with respect and kindness so that everyone feels that they're valued.
Work on dismantling and overall destroying hate, because hate is at the forefront of everything bad in this world. Once we can successfully do that, I think the world will automatically become a better place. Now, that's not to say that I think that we can erase hate as a whole, because I don't really think that's possible. But I feel like if we push the message, the alternative message being love, then I think the world will be a better place for sure.
How will you help keep Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream alive?
What I want to start doing and continue doing is be an upstander, and for people who might be struggling with just a math problem or need a friend at lunch, I want to be there for them, and I want to treat others with respect and kindness, because the small things make the biggest difference in someone's life, and I want to just lead by example and continue to be the best person I can be.
Promoting justice anywhere I see injustice by leading nonviolence, by not just talking about things, but living them, and also learning about other cultures. Always taking the right stand, doing the right thing, even when it's the hardest.
I'll keep it alive by fighting oppression in any way I can and continuing to serve my community and my people as well as I can. And then the other way I would keep it alive is just by continuing to go to school and succeeding in school, and then going on to go to college and having a successful career, because all Dr. King really wanted was the success, prosperity,
safety, and equally represented rights of African Americans in this country. And for the most part, that's what I represent, and that's what I'll continue to represent.
I would try to, like people on the playground, I would tell them to play together and not be so mad at each other and calm down.
Thank you, everyone, for being here today. I'm Jill Bickford. I am head of youth services at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. The library has been involved with this event from its inception, and that's really an honor for us. You know, the goal of the public library is to make sure that every member of the community has fair and equitable access to the resources and materials they need to achieve their goals and their dreams, whether that's as an individual or as a community. So it's a real honor for us to be able to participate in this event. You all know we have these buttons, and the buttons have been, there's been a button every year. And over on the welcome table over there, we have a framed display of the buttons from the first 25 years. And that will be hanging in the library and the main branch in the near future, if you want to stop by and see it. I also want to let you know about some events we have going on at the library tomorrow. I know school's closed and a lot of businesses are closed, but the library is open, and we have events throughout the day to honor Dr. King's dream and his vision. At 10 a.m., we have a multicultural musical story time for children. At 2 p.m., we have Ivory D. Williams, who is a phenomenal storyteller, rich in oral tradition. And that is a good family event for all ages. And then at 7 p.m., we have Dr. Tara Hayes leading a book discussion on the book March. And if you're not familiar with that, it's a graphic novel written by John Lewis, Congressman from Georgia, John Lewis, who was a real icon his activism during the Civil Rights Movement. And she will be discussing that book. And even if you haven't read it, it will still be a great discussion to attend. That's at 7 p.m. If you want to read it before then, again, it's a graphic novel. It's pretty short. You could get through it pretty quickly. And although all the print copies are checked out, we are in the digital age, and you can get the ebook through the library's Hoopla app if you wanted to read it before the event tomorrow. And again, I just want to say that the library is so proud to be able to partner with this event and serve this amazing community. Thank you.
Well, everyone, we need you to bundle up and prepare for our next activity. We are asking you, if possible, to come out and join us. We are actually going to be walking down Orchard Lake Road. But please listen to the directions. We're going to leave from the high school here and go south on Orchard Lake. We're going to go all the way down to Walnut Lake Road, turn around, and then return to the building. The activities are not over once we begin the walk. We are coming back to the building and engaging in the community service projects that are in the atrium here. To my right, we have all of the canned goods that have been collected by all of the students and leaders within the community. We are going to be sorting these canned goods. There are signs and things to help support you as you do that here. To my left, we have a pillow making area where you need no previous experience. If you know how to tie a shoe, you can help us with the pillows, because all you do is tie knots to help create pillows. And then over here to my far left against this wall, we have a card making area. We encourage you to please come back and engage in these activities, and to make it easier for you, we have some refreshments here that are available in the far room where you see the Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated sign. Please enjoy your time with us, bundle up. We will be walking exactly at 3 o'clock, leading the way right out of this door. Thank you very much for coming out, and thank you for your continuous support.